Yeah, that's really how I'm feeling right now. Just to work on myself and things like that. Try to better myself as a person, as a dad.
Has officially announced his retirement, right? He told the people around him that he is retiring from the sport of boxing. He is no longer going to compete in the sport of boxing due to his frustration with the way and the direction the sport of boxing is going in.
Whatever, I don't know. Maybe this could be the reason why Tank say he want to leave boxing. He gonna, tap out, stuff like that. He still hasn't fought Devin Haney, and that's not going to happen.
Gervonta Davis has finally talked about why he decided to retire from boxing. He said he's tired of all the fame and attention. According to him, people always take his words the wrong way, and he feels misunderstood. Davis also shared that he no longer feels like he can be himself in the public eye. On top of that, boxing just doesn't excite him anymore. He even called it boring now. All of this led him to walk away from the sport.
Yeah, that's really how I'm feeling right now. Just to work on myself and things like that. Try to better myself as a person, as a dad, all around, human being.
Yeah. Is it the fame? Is it something that you just don't like all the attention? Or
yeah, I'm starting to shy away from the attention and things like that come with it.
Yeah, because it's like anything you do or say, it's all over the blogs. It's taken the wrong way. It's getting posted.
Yeah.
Like you can't even be yourself at this point.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, it's getting more so lame type of thing.
The main reason for Gervonta Davis's retirement seems to be his growing frustration with boxing. His team said he's been under a lot of pressure and stress, especially because of an ongoing legal case involving the mother of his children. They don't know how the case will end, but it's clearly been tough on him. This situation has made him feel even more distant from the sport, and it likely played a big part in his decision to step away from boxing for now.
I'm sure by now many people have heard about the news that was broken by Rick Glazier, who stated that 5-time world champion, 3-division world champion, undefeated superstar boxer, Gervonta Tank Davis, 30 wins, no loss, no draw, 28 wins by way of knockout. 30 wins, no losses, 1 draw, 28 wins by way of knockout, has officially announced his retirement, right? He told the people around him that he is retiring from the sport of boxing. He is no longer going to compete in the sport of boxing due to his frustration with the way and the direction the sport of boxing is going in.
Now that Gervonta Davis has officially announced his retirement, fans and sports analysts are reacting strongly. The news spread quickly after Happy Punch tweeted that Davis is done with boxing and told those close to him he won't fight again. While many people are surprised by his sudden decision, some believe it shows how much pressure he's been under, both personally and professionally. According to Blue Blood Sports TV, Davis might not be retiring for good. The analyst thinks he's just overwhelmed right now, and that may have led to this announcement. One reason could be that Davis doesn't want a rematch with Lamont Roach, which he doesn't see as worth the effort. Instead, he's reportedly more interested in a big-money fight, possibly against Jake Paul on Netflix, rather than continuing under Amazon's promotion. Some believe Davis may be using the retirement talk as a strategy, something he's done in the past before big fights.
Gervonta Tank Davis retiring? No. Has he told people this? Yes. But this is nothing new. I told you the Lamont Roach Jr. fight was off. It was going to take place in June. He was not happy with the way things were playing out. He wanted to get to that Jake Paul bag with Netflix. That has nothing to do with Amazon. Jake Paul is in charge in that situation and gonna put that money in Tank Davis's pocket. I told you guys this. But you guys don't believe me. You always love to say I'm capping or hating on Tank Davis. No, just telling you what's going on behind the scenes. Gervonta Tank Davis is not going to retire. He's frustrated. He may step away from the sport of boxing for a while. But again, he was already planning to do that before the Lamont Roach Jr. draw.
Despite the mixed opinions and ongoing speculation, Gervonta Davis has officially announced that he's retiring from boxing. While some think this might be a temporary decision caused by recent stress and personal challenges, Davis has clearly said he's stepping away from the sport for now. Whether this is the end of his boxing career or just a break remains uncertain. Only time will tell what the future holds for the talented fighter.
Tank Davis is retired? Superstar and legendary knockout artist Tank Davis has officially retired. Or so he claims. Tank Davis has had one of the hardest 18 months in boxing. See, first he just got out of prison. Then he had a fight with Lamont Roach that should have been a pushover, which afterwards he was going to negotiate a huge money fight with Jake Paul. But Lamont Roach had a great game plan and they ended up having a draw that Lamont Roach probably should have won. It was a controversial no knockdown call. But now Gervonta Davis is once again facing jail time after some domestic abuse charges. So I really think this is temporary. He's probably just retiring for now, especially with all the legal fees this man's gonna need. Part of this is probably to avoid the Lamont Roach rematch and push that off if he can. But really, most of this is probably so he can focus on his legal issues. And then after all that is wrapped up, he's gonna get back into boxing. Boxers do fake retirements. It's just what they do. Especially after disappointing fights and doing legal troubles. Tyson Fury's in the middle of a fake retirement right now. So yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think he's really retired for good? Let me know in the comments.
Despite different opinions and ongoing speculation, Gervonta Davis has officially confirmed his retirement from boxing. According to a tweet from Bleacher Report, Davis announced he will retire after 2025, showing he's serious about stepping away. He's been talking about retiring for over a year now, often saying he's tired of everything that comes with being a boxer. Davis has mentioned that personal struggles and constant pressure have made him want to leave the sport. Recently, he even said he doesn't think about getting angry anymore, which makes it clear he's lost the fire to keep fighting. Former boxing champion Antonio Tarver also shared his thoughts on Davis's situation. He expressed concern about Davis's future and said that talent alone isn't enough, personal growth is just as important. Tarver pointed out that many young fighters today struggle without the right guidance and support. He believes Davis's problems highlight a bigger issue in boxing and finds it disappointing to see such a promising career take a step back, especially when a big fight was just around the corner.
Just when a major fight was ahead.
To see you right here in New York City, man. Always showing love. All right, this is Jay Martinez of Fight Hood TV. So happy to see you once again. The biggest talk, let's jump into it. Obviously, we got a good weigh-in here in a moment.
Yes.
We got some good presser after this. The biggest talk that just happened moments ago, Gervonta Davis, jump into it, kind of, I wouldn't say it's a big shock to a lot of us, but, there's this mindset, the fight with Lamont's not signed yet. Apparently he's going to fight Jake Paul. Like, it's put in and out of boxing right now.
Hey, man, I don't know, but, get these guys the bag so they can get the hell on if they not committed and dedicated to the sport. All they want is a bag. Give them a bag so they can go, bro. I mean, let these fighters that really want the shit, let's parade them. Let's get behind them. Let's support them. Let's build them. I'm not saying I don't know what happened. But I just hope and pray that young man get it together. He's at the top of his career, prime of his career. I would want him to be remembered more by the things that he's doing in the ring rather than out. But, sometimes you got to win in life, too, before you can get in that ring and win. And sometimes life is harder than any opponent that we can face. And I just hope he get it together, bro. I feel like a lot of these young men don't have no mentors, bro. It ain't no more handlers in the game, bro. It ain't nobody taking care of the camp. These guys out here on their own frequency, bro. And I just think there's no more leaders in the game, bro. They not going to where that real energy is that can really humble these guys a little bit. We only got a short period of time to be professional boxers. This shit is over quick, bro. And you don't ever want to live with no regrets.
Bernard Hopkins shared his thoughts on Gervonta Davis's situation, expressing hope that Davis can move past his legal troubles and focus on his family. He emphasized the importance of making things right with the mother of his children. Hopkins also encouraged Davis to stay focused and keep a positive mindset, saying that getting back into boxing could help him move forward, both in his personal life and his career.
With the alien Bernard Hopkins. Bernard, first of all, good to see you, my man.
Good to see you again. Yes,
good
sir.
to see you.
Yes, sir.
Hey, there's a lot
My
to
second
talk
home, brother.
I'm starting to say the same thing because I'm here
Yes,
almost
you're here
all the time.
In and out, in and out.
Bernard, a lot to talk about. Let's jump into it real quick.
Come on.
I'm sure you saw the news about Gervonta Davis being arrested once again. Just give me your thoughts.
Unfortunately, man, I hope he come out. Everybody else come out. I'm not with the domestic violence thing, man, but I hope that he get that straightened out and he get back to focus on his family and his career. Family first, and then career second. But I just wish both his ex-girl, his kid's mother, you know what I mean, can get things together and look forward and be positive going forward.
Bernard, you think his head, is there right now with boxing? Do you think he just needs another mentor? What does he need? Because he's a great talent.
I don't know, and I don't know him that well.
Gervonta Davis has recently shared that he's focusing more on his personal goals outside of boxing. He wants to become a more grounded and supportive person for his loved ones. Davis admitted that his career and lifestyle have often taken him away from what truly matters, his daughter and his family. Now, he's choosing to shift his attention toward emotional growth and strengthening his relationships. His decision to seek help and be more present in his family's life shows that he's gaining a clearer understanding of what's most important to him at this point in his life.
What's good, YouTube? Crown Jewel from Crown Jewel Boxing, back with a gem. Checked out the press conference yesterday. Watched the Rise podcast, 2 days ago, watched the Rise podcast response to it yesterday. And I just have to say, I see a lot of people think that, Tank is bluffing with the retirement talk. Could be. I doubt it, though. And I'm going to tell you why I doubt it. When he talked about wanting to seek therapy and the person he has to be in order to be the fighter that he is and wanting to be a softer person, for his daughters, and wanting to seek therapy and become a better person and be with his children and lead the limelight, seemed like a lot of emotion and passion in that. He seemed like he really meant what he was saying. There's a lot that comes with not only boxing, because, all fighters deal with certain things with being a boxer, physically and mentally. But he has to deal with being a celebrity, an international star on top of that. And I can't even imagine that pressure. So, things get old, your whole life gets scrutinized. No matter what moves he makes, it's going to be accepted by some.
The timing of Tank Davis's retirement seems closely tied to recent challenges in his life. Just before a potential rematch with Lamont Roach, he became involved in more legal trouble. Not long after being released, he announced his decision to step away from boxing. His repeated statements about being tired of the sport now seem more serious and final. After years of dealing with pressure, high expectations, and personal struggles, Davis appears ready to let go and find peace outside the ring.
So he has a history of doing things like this to women. Like facts. Whether you like it or not, whether you're a Tank Davis fan or not, you can't get around that. That's the truth. So now, what's going to happen with the Lamont Roach fight? And better yet, what's going to happen, will that fight still go on? I don't know. They haven't announced it, made an official announcement yet. We know the fight is scheduled for next month, August, but it hasn't officially been announced yet. And we do know if that fight is announced, PBC will have reporters there to tell those reporters, look, if you want to have access to Gervonta Tank Davis, you better not ask him certain questions. This is what goes on in the media. See, a lot of these guys, they want access to the fighters, so they have to play ball. They have to go along with the get along just so they can get access to interview the fighter. Coach Malachi, I don't give a fuck about the access. Fuck having access to the fighter. I only fuck with those who fuck with me. If you're a fighter who fuck with me, I'll fuck with you. And then, we can do an interview. That's fine. I have no problem with it because I got love for you like that and vice versa. But if it's a fighter that don't like you or don't like me or whatever the case may be, I don't give a fuck. I don't try to fit in, in the square circles. If it's a square circle, you know what I mean? If it's a square in a circle, I don't try to fit in with squares. And if you ain't in the circle, I ain't trying to get in the circle. Do you get what I'm saying? So, of course, these reporters, that's what they're going to do. So now, as it relates to Lamont Roach, what does Lamont Roach do from here?
Commentators and fans have expressed empathy for Gervonta Davis and his decision to retire. They recognize the heavy mental and physical toll that boxing can take, especially on someone who's been in the spotlight since a young age. Many analysts believe that if Davis no longer feels passionate about the sport, stepping away is not just wise, it's necessary. Supporters agree it's better for him to walk away with dignity than to keep fighting when he's not at his best. In the end, most fans would rather see him happy and at peace than struggling inside or outside the ring.
Living a public life ain't for everybody. He's been tremendously successful, whatever he decides to do. I wish him well. I think we need to, watch this Lamont Roach fight closely because we've seen this in the past when Mike Tyson talks about his heart no longer being in it. Or, you heard Buddy McGirt he come out and say, the fire left him, while he was in camp in the middle of a run. I mean, it happens. And, we don't know how it's going to affect him as a fighter. I would hope, you know, he could find it in himself to be motivated and get prepared, you know, and be the best version of himself. Because, you know, as a Tank fan, I don't want to see him in a ring in any other capacity. You know, if he can't bring himself to be the best version of himself, then I think he should walk away. But regardless of what he decides to do for people like myself, you know, I've had a great time, you know, watching his career. I wish him the best in his personal life. He didn't say he's retiring immediately. He just said he's going to fight 3 times in 2025, and then it'll be over. You know, whoever those 3 fights he chooses to fight, you know, we have to respect it. And I would just say, you know, enjoy him while he's here. Because, you know, everybody in sports, whether it's boxing or otherwise, is only going to be active for a certain amount of time. And once it's over, it's over. So instead of, you know, Monday morning quarterbacking, ridiculing or criticizing, I think he's been a very special talent, and we need to enjoy him while he's here, because the end may be really near, according to what he's saying. That's all I have for y'all right now. Until next time, keep your hands up, your chin down, your ass off the floor.
Many people in the boxing world believe this could be a turning point for Davis. With everything going on in his life, now might be the right time for him to take a break and rethink his direction. This pause can give him the chance to reflect deeply and make important changes to improve both his personal well-being and his future choices. It's a moment for him to reconnect with his values and rebuild stability away from all the constant chaos.
That's why I don't want to box no more. I want to do therapy, right? But I feel as though if I do therapy, it will lose the fire that I have inside me. I want everything out of me where so I don't never think about fighting again. I don't think about even getting angry, you know what I mean? Because I have 2 girls, 2 daughters. I'm wanting to be much softer, you know what I mean? Be more humble and things like that.
Shout out to Tank Davis saying that he's going to go to therapy because he wants to soften up for his daughters and he wants to let go of the anger. And yes, although maybe the anger served him in his boxing career, it's not currently serving him now at the moment being the father. So shout out for Tank Davis. That's a real man. A real man is willing to be gentle in a tough, cruel world, right? It doesn't take much for us to be angry in the angry world. It takes a lot of courage for us to soften up and shine our light, whereas we've been maybe in darkness our whole lives, or maybe our darkness got us to success, right? So like Tank Davis obviously became successful, put in the anger towards boxing, but now he's on this next level of life and stepping into his therapy era, which I love to see. So shout out to Tank Davis for stepping into your healing era. Let's go.
Throughout his career, Davis has dealt with several legal problems but has often managed to overcome them, thanks in part to his financial resources. However, a pattern has emerged, showing he keeps getting involved in similar issues, which points to deeper personal struggles. Davis has said he's exhausted by everything that comes with boxing. Over time, this frustration has grown, and after facing multiple setbacks, he now seems sure that stepping away is the only way to find peace and stability.
Legend, and as I'm recording this, Tank has just gotten bonded out of jail, although the details of his bond have yet to come out. At this point, it seems like every couple years Tank has some sort of similar run-in with the law. His last major run-in came in December of 2022, where he was arrested for allegedly striking a woman with a closed hand type slap, although these charges were later dropped. But I'm not an expert on any of this, and I'm not really here to discuss details of a DV case. I'll let the courts do that. The question I think I can better speculate on is how this will impact his career. Now, his legal troubles in the past haven't done much to slow him down, so will this time be any different? To answer it in a single word, maybe. Now, Gervonta Davis is undeniably one of the biggest names in the sport, and because of the money he generates when he fights, really no matter what he does, it's hard for him not to find opportunities.
Although Davis had hinted that 2025 would be his last year in boxing, many exciting fights were still expected from him. Fans were looking forward to big matches, including a possible rematch with Lamont Roach. But because of recent events and his current mindset, these fights now seem less likely to happen. This change has left many fans feeling disappointed, especially since these matches could have helped Davis strengthen his place in boxing history.
4 or 5 hours late, no Calvin Ford, his trainer, no Leonard Ellaby, he turned up by himself. And then he went on to say 2025 will be his last year in the sport. He wants to get therapy, and he feels like he can't get therapy unless he leaves the sport of boxing. He's got young kids and he wants to be the best father he can for those kids, and if he continues fighting, then the therapy won't work. Kind of made sense to me.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.